We're coming close to the wrap of our conversation. And I know that you guys are both brilliant. You're all brilliant. You're real vocal. You are representing Black women and Black girls in a beautiful way, particularly in West Virginia. And so I wanted to get your thoughts, ex, articulating why the crown is so important, because I feel that folks, particularly those in power, have been brutal in their slighting of why this is significant. I wish it were not as significant. I wish we did not have to fight for public policy so that we could walk in the hair that grows off our heads in the way that it grows or the way that we want to style it or wear it. But I feel this is an opportunity for you to speak to truth to power. What is it about the Crown Act and the need for it that you fight for, or that you're angry, and we have every right to be angry, that you're angry that you even have to fight for it? I would love for folks to talk about that.
Um, when I first learned about the Crown Act, I was a freshman at Black Policy. I had no idea what it was, and everybody was like, "This is important." I was just like, "Why? Like, we do it anyway. Like, why?" Like, I was just so confused, and still, I'm like still a little confused about it. Like, still now, like I don't fully understand. But from what I was told, like, I mean, like I've never had like no one's ever told me you couldn't wear like my braids to where I'm supposed to be at. But I get there's other people that can't wear braids. Like I just find that baffling. Like other people can't be accepted for wearing braids or like a just a common afro or crochet anything. And I feel like that's just enough fighting for itself. Like you can't express your beauty, your culture. Like I mean, at the end of the day, this is all us. Like because some people like they can't they like me, I can't deal with my hair on a good day-to-day basis, so I have to do this. Like put in a ponytail and go out my day. But like for you to sit there and say I can't, like it just kind of gives me a side eye.
I think the people in power need to realize it's based off of Eurocentricity, of where they want us to be white people. They want our hair to conform to them. For me, it's really important because I could walk in with my natural hair and someone can tell me that I can't have a job. So the economic power is resting on my hair. But if I come in a wig and it's straight, they're going to give me a job. So I think the difference in knowing that you're telling me one thing's natural because the wig is human hair. It's not synthetic, it's human. So you're telling me I can't have I can't have my natural hair, but I can have somebody else's natural hair. Even when it comes to specific colors for Black women, and people have to go through this in the military too, they get their hair dyed a natural ginger or a natural blonde or natural brown, and they're like, it's not natural. It's not natural to me because of what? The color of my skin. It's natural because another person is walking around with that same hair color. But you're basing it upon the color of my skin, and it's rooted in racism and wanting Black people to conform to Eurocentric values. And I think that's what's most important about it. And what people in power need to realize is you're just trying to control us and what we can do and what type of jobs we can have, even if that. You know, some people, you go to a small business, they're like, we don't want your hair to look like that. And they could base it upon health rules and everything like that. But I can just wear a hairnet. But it's also like they come with more and more rules on top of that. So it's protecting us and our rights that we have through the Constitution.
I would say, yeah, the biggest thing for me when it came to when it comes to the Crown Act, I worked with ACLU during this
Yes.
legislative session, and I helped host a sit-in for the Crown Act. So I called local hairstylists in West Virginia to come do a retwist on a model, and he had locks. So she was retwisting his locks outside of a senator's office who was refusing to pass the Crown Act. So it was a sit-in just to prove a point to him, like we're going to show up, we're going to speak up, and we need more Black people to show up. And at the Capitol, it's all white people voting on Black hair, and they were like using the terms wrong and just didn't understand. But the bill, all it stated was it's illegal to discriminate against Black people's natural hair. And so my biggest thing was, why is that so hard to just vote on? Why is it hard to pass it? So my biggest thing was the why. And what I found interesting working at the Capitol, I would have white women come up to me and go, "Your hair is so beautiful. You're so pretty." I'm like, "Oh, thank you." And it'll be a legislator, a senator, or a delegate. I'm like, so you voted for the Crown Act, right? And they go, we'll see about that. And the woman, she voted no. And she had a loose hair texture too. It was a loose curl hair texture. But she voted no for the passage of the Crown Act. So I think it boils down to it's just these European beauty standards and them wanting control. I think they know that it's simple. They know that it's basic human rights to not discriminate against Black people because of our natural hair. They just want that control.
Yeah.
That's all it is. I mean, there's Black girls in school getting their braids cut off by the teacher. There's people that I know in West Virginia who they got offered a higher position. They're like, yeah, but you have to get rid of your dreads. You can't come into work like that. Or you look unprofessional or unkept. And it's needed. They know it's needed. They know probably more about it than we think they do. They just want that control.
I really agree. I just feel, I don't know, I know about the Crown Act, but like I just like not recently, but like I just like found out what it means is like what's going on. And I just feel like it's not right because I feel like you shouldn't base it off of our hair texture or how we look. If we have the qualities for the job or if we're doing good, it shouldn't matter that our hair is in dreads or braids or an afro. Because I feel like you can have an afro and still look like presentable and like you deserve to have the job and just stuff like that. So I just feel like I don't know, people not agreeing with the Crown Act stuff. I just think it's weird. And I just feel like it shouldn't matter how our hair is. Because if we feel like we look presentable, then you should just be okay with that. You shouldn't try to change us or what we wear or how our hair looks. You should just be okay with what we're wearing because you're not the one wearing it. You don't have to because most like white people, they can just wake up, brush their hair, but we have to do more for our hair. So I just feel like it's just a little weird.
I agree.
I sometimes don't think like people understand and I've had to tell my friends like the term wash day. When I say wash day, it's an all day experience. That's a day about 6 to 8 hours I'm taking away from not reading them law school books that I'm taking to do my hair. I'm deconditioning it. I'm washing. I'm finger detangling, but then I'm brush detangling. Then I have to sit and then finger all the product through it, multiple steps in sections. And then I got to sit with this little space machine thing with the hair dryer because over my head for 3 hours and I can't hear anything. So I can't do focus on work. So I think it's understanding that, and it's kind of taking the time away from us too. That's the benefit they get from the time that we don't get to do things that our white counterparts get to do. Same thing with, I know in West Virginia, and I know how many other places that for their hair test, they don't really have to learn how to do Black people's hair. They don't know the type. So like you said, it's going to be a different language for white people learning this when we say 4A, 4B, all those different things, because they don't understand. We say perm, but it's really a relaxer. So the differences in our culture and our lingo that we have. And I think that people are scared that when we go to the Crown Act, I think that's why, and I'm going to name drop him, Eric Tarr, out of that fiscal note, because he knew that there might have been some type of financial thing. Now, granted, he said $5,000 and people raised it in West Virginia, lickety split, but he knew it might have been able to be on a test for the hair and beauty school, which it should be. Even though there's a small population in West Virginia, we shouldn't have to drive X amount of hours to get our hair done. I was in Morgantown driving to Charleston, missing school, definitely missing work to go get my hair done because that was the only available appointment before I would go on a trip or something. And that's not fair to us because that's gas, that's money, that's education I missed out on. I didn't miss on money because I took vacation days, but other things that I could be doing that could be better with my time than worrying about my hair.